on. Okay, so we got to pile in on Alina Habba one more time. I couldn't resist. Could not resist today. So Trump, okay, so she's pretty much been fired, it looks like. But Trump's going to trial in New York here for fraud, for criminal fraud, where he could be looking at, a decade or 16 plus years in prison, right? Whatever it is. And his main key witness to defend him also testified in the civil fraud trial, which is semi-related to this. And that was his former CFO, Alan Weisselberg, who I want to remind everybody, no degree in accounting, no experience in accounting, no experience in finance, no degrees in finance. But he was the CFO of Trump Organization, knows nothing about finance, and he was the chief financial officer for decades. So anyway, he testified to that. That's not just me making shit up. Anyway, Alan Weisselberg, but he doesn't know where the bodies are buried because he had all the money. He was Trump's key witness. Well, it turns out he lied in the civil case, committed perjury on the stand, and he just pled guilty to perjury, which means he just flipped on Trump for a lesser deal. So we're going to jump right into this.
As we continue to follow this breaking news from the Supreme Court, we also have breaking news involving the ex-Trump org CFO, Alan Weisselberg, who this morning surrendered to the Manhattan DA's office to face new charges. NBC's Tom Winter is joining us now. What do we know about these new charges, Tom?
Yes, Anna, late details from court, and our colleague Adam Reese, who was in the courtroom, Alan Weisselberg, taken in handcuffs. He has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of perjury in the first degree. Originally, they were going to charge him with 5 counts, but it's now 2 counts that he's pleading guilty to. He's admitted his guilt. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is recommending a sentence of 5 months in jail. If he violates the terms of his sentencing and of his probation, he could ultimately face 7 years in jail. He'll be out pending his sentencing, which will be on April 10th.
So he just took the plea deal, and it was a sweet deal because it could have been worse because he just got out of jail last year for a plea deal he took, and he technically violated it by lying in court, which is why if he fucks this up, he's got to do the full time on that plea and the full time on this plea. So he just did whatever it was, 6 months or whatever, 90 days. I can't remember what it was. And now he's looking at, okay, well, we'll give you 5 more months in jail. And if you fuck up and you lie again in court or whatever, 7 years. And at his age, I mean, fuck. That's almost a decade in prison. He'd probably die in prison. Good chance he could. Anyway.
Yeah, well, and honestly, like lying for someone else, is that going to be worth that to you? Hell no. Hell no.
Well, and he's got another incentive. When the first plea, they let him walk with several $1 million, like $2 or $3 million. I can't remember what the total was with his bonus. They didn't seize that. So he's got that, but they could still go back and seize it because he violated his plea deal. So he'd be in prison and fucking broke. So, yeah.
Wow.
So that's Trump's key witness. And guess who's not testifying on Trump's behalf now? They could call him to testify.
Like hot potato.
Yep.
Hot potato.
So things are not looking good for Trump in this criminal trial, man. And it really cracks me up because Alina Habba, now we're getting to her, tried to cover some of this shit up because she was the one who had him perjure in court. And just so you know, kids, fun fact, if I'm the lawyer and Lacey's the witness, and she tells a lie on the stand to a question I asked her, and I know she lied, I am now guilty of perjury. Unless I stop the trial right there and talk to the judge in private and tell him, look, the witness just fucking lied on the stand. If I don't do that, I'm also guilty of perjury. Guess what Alina Habba did do? She asked him a question. Guess what he did? He lied. Guess what? She knew about it. Guess what? She didn't say anything. So now she's in deep shit. So we're going to jump in with Ben Meisalas real quick. I know we keep going back to the Midas touch, but all the legal shit, we got to use them to cover because they're lawyers.
As we repeatedly say on the Midas Touch Network, MAGA stands for Make Attorneys Get Attorneys. And Donald Trump's lawyers, Alina Habba and Cliff Robert, are, in my opinion, in very big trouble after not candidly disclosing to Justice Arthur Engoron when he asked about the status of the plea negotiations of Alan Weisselberg, who on Monday pled guilty to multiple felony perjury counts in connection with his false and perjurious statements during the New York Attorney General's civil fraud case, both during depositions and at the trial itself. There is a concept under the law called suborning perjury, and there are serious issues now being raised and questions being asked if Alina Habba and Cliff Robert were involved in suborning perjury. And those questions, I think, will need to be resolved forthwith.
So that. I forgot about that second part. So not only did she suborn is the term I was looking for, suborn perjury during the trial, but afterwards, while Engoron, the judge, was doing his judgment, the news popped up that Weisselberg might be pleading to perjuring himself in the trial that Engoron was writing the judgment on, and Engoron didn't know that. And so Engoron wrote both the plaintiff and Alina Habba and her partner and said, what's going on with this? Did he perjure himself in my court? What's going on? I need to know this because I'm writing the judgment. And Alina Habba lied to him in her response, saying, no, he didn't. And she actually attacked the judge in her response. It was really stupid. But, so now she's lied to the judge. I think you're on mute, Lace. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Accidentally hit the button.
That's okay.
Oh, God. I was like, just thinking, I mean, God, she's probably really never going to work again, is she? I mean,
I don't know. She's already looking at millions in fines for other shit, and she's being sued by that woman that she screwed over in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, all this stuff compiling, but I was like, God, why are you going to do that to yourself? But, I mean, it's like throwing more on top of the heap at this point. Like, maybe at a certain point, he's like, screw it, it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's jump into this. So I got another fun.